It's a wonderful and exciting time in perhaps most people's lives. Some people plan for it, while others let nature take its course. But the joy and excitement of first-time parenthood is undoubtedly a big step for most people.
Yeah.
But what age is too old, and when is too young? What is important when considering having children for the first time? Is it even something people plan a decisive time for?
And what are the benefits of having children at a younger age versus at a later age, and the disadvantages?
Almost most importantly, what motivates people to have children at all? And how does the process of first-time parenthood affect them?
All these questions can sometimes raise more questions. Am I ready?
Do we want a boy or a girl?
How do we know when it's the right time to become a parent?
Let's explore, shall we? Let's
Talk
talk first-time
parenthood.
parenthood. What age were you when you first had a child or children? Did you plan for it? Did you feel ready?
I was 31 when I had my son. My husband and I got married a couple of years before that, and we planned to have a couple of years together by ourselves. And yeah, we planned to have Ash at the time that we did. And yeah, we felt ready for it. Lots of our friends were having kids. And yeah, we were mentally prepared, I think.
Well, I was 24 but nearly 25 when our first child was born, which was probably relatively young for among my peers at that time in the late 70s. I'm not sure why we decided to have a baby. We'd been married for a couple of years, and I had finished my education. I'd graduated from uni, and so it just seemed the right time for us.
Early 30s, mid-30s, and yeah, we planned for it, looking forward to it. It was pretty exciting. Mum felt ready. Good dog.
Do you think that it is something that people plan for these days?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's a lot to think about. You've got to change a lot of things in your life.
What drove you to wanting children?
It was really important for both of us to have children. We have both grown up with siblings, lots of siblings, and we're both teachers, so we really like being around younger people. So yeah, it was really, really important for us to get to the point in our relationship where we wanted to have kids, and yeah.
Well, for me, because I came from the other side of Australia to live here, I wanted to make sure I was settled here first. And yeah, I was a bit older, so I had to think about it. But yeah, definitely happy with having done it.
I guess my wife and I thought it was just the natural order of events. You know, we both finished our studies, and we'd been together for a couple of years, and we'd always assumed that we would have children. We wanted to have children, so it just seemed like the right time for us to do it.
What are the benefits that come with having children at a younger age versus having them at a later age?
Yeah, physically, I think we are built to have our children young. You know, I think it's usually easier for a woman to have a child at an earlier age than an older age. But of course, it happens when it happens, doesn't it? It's you know, life is what happens while we're making other plans, and circumstances dictate when or if we have children.
So I think one of the most challenging things, as I sort of referred to in the previous question, was about having, during those challenging times, having the energy to run after a child, especially when they become a toddler. And I think perhaps a young mother would have lots of that energy. and obviously as you get older and older, perhaps less of that energy. Obviously a personal thing. Someone at the age of 40 may still have lots of energy, but then I guess as their child is 10 and they're 50, they may not have as much of that energy anymore. So I think that is one of the main positives to have a child early. In terms of having a child later, you've got a bit more life experience, you've maybe travelled the world a bit more, you have possibly a higher level of education and possibly a more stable family income. So I think those things, personally I believe those things are really important.
So when it comes to parenthood, whether you're a returning customer or a first-time buyer, it's all about the subjective.
What brought you back to wanting children?
Madness.
Just want a sibling.
The process of becoming a parent was, I felt, an interesting one. It was a challenging one. I think some women experience really easy pregnancies, but for a number of different reasons, mine had its challenges along the way. In terms of the strain on your body, it's definitely quite tricky. However, feeling a baby move inside you is quite an amazing experience as well. So I think it had its ups and downs, and it was a bit of a journey.
The personal reasons and motivations that make us choose to have children, and when.
I came from a big family in the sense that there were 6 children in my family, and so I was used to lots of cousins. So I suppose I came from a family where there were lots of children, and so I guess I just assumed that that's what would happen to me as well, and it's what I always was comfortable with.
Age is becoming less of a concern. Now it's becoming more of a question of, am I ready?
Are we ready?
And do we want a boy?
Or a girl?
When is the right time for us to become parents?
How old is too old? I think to put a figure on it is really difficult. I think it is just a personal choice.